Hi guys! Welcome to Knits and Stuff. Today is February 22nd and this is episode 25 of Knits and Stuff. My name is Alicia. Today we'll be talking about works in progress, pretty things, local delights, and that's it. First, welcome to those of you that are new, and thanks to those of you that are returning watchers. If you haven't already, there is a group on Ravelry that you can join. It's called Knits and Stuff Podcast, and there will be a link in the show notes, which you can find at knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So let's get started. I have been a pretty monogamous knitter. I think that's about to change, but so far I've been working on just one shawl. And I showed this last time, but this is this is the Winter Sea Shawl by Liz Alpinanti, and and I am knitting this out of a Vert for Keeping Warm Clover in the Beach Glass colorway. And on my Addy Clicks US 6 4.0 millimeters. So I've made a little bit of progress. I think I've done about a repeat and a half since the last time, and it's kind of slow just going through and doing the knits and the purls, because it's pretty much just a chevron stitch pattern or texture, and alternating knits and purls. I can kind of see where the knits and knit stitches make a chevron and the purl stitches make that chevron pattern. So yeah, I really like knitting it though, and I like the yarn too. It's nice and squishy. But this is all that I've been working on, and we still have a ton of things in boxes, so sorry, that's all I've had to really do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for works in progress. I'm also still spinning a little bit, but I haven't made much progress on that loop bullseye bump, so maybe next week I'll show that, or next episode I will show that. So that's works in progress. And then pretty things. We went to Stitches West in Santa Clara, and for those of you that haven't heard of it, it's the Knitting Expo convention. They take up the convention center in Santa Clara, and there are classes that are offered, although I've never taken one. And then they have the market in the expo hall, and there's a bunch of different vendors and booths that you can go around. It's kind of like knitting Comic-Con, as Will would say. So yeah, so we went there today, and I picked up some things, so I will show them off. I knew I wanted to go to the Miss Babs booth because I haven't ever bought anything from Miss Babs, but I've heard great things about it. So I picked up a Yowza What a Skein, and this is in the colorway First Dibs, and it is a 4-ply light worsted weight, and it's 100% superwash merino, and I think I'm gonna make a hitchhiker shawl out of this. So this, I was really excited because I think I have a project, well, almost, now that I'm looking at what I bought, I almost have a project for everything that I bought. So that's new. But so this is a huge skein. There's 560 yards of worsted weight in this, so plenty of yarn. So that is my first purchase, and that came with a little stitch marker with her card. So I like getting these little stitch markers. It adds to my collection. So that's the first purchase. And then I stopped by the Foxy Knits booth, and they specialize in Koigu yarn. which I've knit with, I think I showed a project that I still haven't finished because I'm actually reconsidering what I'm making with that yarn, because I only had one skein of the KPPM, and I wanted to make these wrist warmers, but they're too small, or wristlets. I guess they're not really that functional as warmers, but I do like the way that that it knits up though. So I think so that's why I wanted to get another more koigu. So I got more KPPM, which is koigu. Sorry for the plastic. It's Koigu Painter's Palette Premium Merino. So this is the color that I got. Let's see. So this is, they don't have names, but the dye color is P704. And this is also 100% merino, and each skein is only 175 yards, so I need 2 to make a pair of socks. And I think these will be monkeys socks, or maybe the no purl monkeys. So a simple pattern so it doesn't interfere too much with the yarn color. I was just gonna do stockinette, but then I think the other pattern will still work okay with the variegated and kind of confetti-like color. So that's what I got. And these, for some reason, these look a little different on the camera, but they're the same dye lot. So, and they look more similar in person. So that's, yeah, that's from Foxy Knits. And then last, I stopped by the Webs booth and Webs Yarn Store. And they always have a big booth at Stitches West. And I got a couple things. They also have a nice discount when you go and buy more than $60 worth, you get 20% off, and you buy more than 120, then you get 25% off. So I may have gotten one of those discounts. So I got some Malabrigo. The first one is Malabrigo Mecca, and this is, there we go, Malabrigo Mecca, and it's in the colorway, I can't read backwards, Arape, I'm gonna say. Yeah, so this is a single ply merino superwash, and I think I'm gonna make this cabled cowl that is actually calls for Aran weight yarn, and I thought I was looking at the Malabrigo worsted that's pretty common, that single ply worsted that they have, but apparently I was looking at Mecca instead. I didn't see any of the worsted at the Webs booth, so I don't think they had it with them. But this one is a larger gauge than the worsted weight, which is actually more like an Aran. I don't know, it's in between Aran and worsted, the other Malabrigo. So this one is more like a bulky weight, but I think it should still be okay with the cable cowl that I want to make. So yeah, and it's, each one of these is 130, and I need, I think, about 300 yards or so for that cowl. So 2 should be enough, and I'm hoping that the color is muted enough to where it won't interfere with the cables, and you can still kind of be able to see the cables. But yeah, it was actually the cable cowl that I was talking about making with the Verb for Keeping Warm yarn, until I realized that that yarn was too small, and it was only a 2-ply, so the cable stitch definition wouldn't work out as well. But this should be fine with the single ply, and if it's bigger, it's better than being smaller gauge. So yeah, so that's the first thing from Webs. And then I also got some Malabrigo sock. Actually, this isn't sock. It is fingering weight though. It's called Cheetah Malabrigo. Oh, to focus. Malabrigo Machita, and this is in the colorway Lotus. And this is what it looks like. So this is also a single ply, and I think since it's superwash merino, I'll probably still make socks out of it. I don't know how well they'll wear because it's a single ply, but I just want squishy single ply socks. So, and I feel like I don't wear my hand knit socks too often, so they shouldn't probably last pretty long. But it's so squishy. I love Malabrigo. So that is the second Malabrigo thing that I got, and then lastly from Webs is the Freya hand paint. So I liked working with this so much from the hat that I made that I decided to buy another two. And I think this will be a shawl of sorts, because I believe excuse me, sorry about that. I think this is also the same one, the Ombre Grande, and I think it's a sport weight as well. So I think this is the same one that I got last time, the same weight. Maybe. No, you know, I think I got a worse weight last time. So this one's different. But the colorway is South Beach, and it will probably be a shawl, but I'm not sure which one. And I was looking, one of the examples that they had in the booth was this cowl that rather than going from using one skein and then starting the next skein once one is done, they alternated the two so that like you would get the gray and the orange at the same time. Well, the stripes were thicker. They were like maybe 4 rows or so thick. So you would get like 4 rows of the orange and then 4 rows of the gray, and then as the gradient kept going you would like run into the same color, and then you would switch back to alternating colors. So that was pretty nice. I might alternate, I don't know, maybe I'll do a stripe, like a single row or 2 rows and just a simple stripe. I don't know, this one I'm not sure about yet, but the other ones I knew what patterns I was thinking of. So that is Freya Fine Hand Paints, and that is the last thing that I bought from Stitches West. And luckily I didn't go too crazy. But I do have pretty things now. I haven't had them in a while to show you guys, so I'm dropping yarn everywhere. So anyway, that is Pretty Things, and that would bring us to Local Delights. And so I didn't talk about going to Stitches West because I wasn't planning on going originally. I figured since we would be out of town this weekend that I wouldn't be able to make it, but we actually went to Monterey, so on our way back we were able to stop by Stitches West. So yeah, ended up going last minute decision. We got there at like 1 or a little, yeah, I think sometime around 1:30, and just kind of went through the market. But anyway, that's not Local Delights. So Local Delights this week is Monterey, and some of the places that we went to in Monterey. It was just a short stay, so we didn't go to the aquarium this time because we've been there before and didn't want to deal with the crowds and waiting in line, and so we just kind of wanted a nice quiet getaway. So we had dinner in Monterey and close to the hotel we were staying at. We ate at a French restaurant called Bistro Moulin, and I don't know French. And it was really good. It was really close to Cannery Row, where all the shops are in Monterey, close to where the aquarium is, so it's like easily walking distance. It was this really cute, quaint restaurant. The food was really good. I found it on Yelp and it had good reviews, and we were able to make a reservation the day of, so that was good. And we were eating kind of early. It seemed like, I guess we weren't eating that early. We went at 7, or we made our reservations for 7, but when we got there it wasn't too packed. But that's also probably because Monterey isn't that busy right now, because it's still cold and it's still winter in California, so it's not as tourist heavy as it usually is. But anyway, so the restaurant was really good. We had fish and the cannelloni. The tiramisu was so good. And yeah, the staff was really nice, and I really liked that restaurant. It was really good. It was really cute, and like cute and kind of romantic, but not too like coupley or anything. There were, you know, larger parties there too, so yeah, I liked it. I would definitely go back. And then so after that, we just walked around Cannery Row a little bit. We were too full from dinner, but otherwise we would have went to the Ghirardelli store and gotten a sundae from there, because they have a Ghirardelli restaurant place on Cannery Row as well. And then, oh, and we also went to the beach earlier in the day. We stopped by the Monterey State Park beach, which wasn't crowded at all, which again I think is because of the weather. So that was, we took a nice walk on the beach, and the water was really cold, but there were some kids that were running in the water. And yeah, so that was what we did on Saturday. And then Sunday, we were going to eat brunch at another restaurant that was really close to the hotel and the aquarium, but we got there and it was an hour wait, so we were like, oh, never mind. We decided going to this other place in Pacific Grove, which was, it's only like a mile southwest of where we were. So that was also really good. We got chicken and waffles and this biscuit gravy stuff, and it was way too much food, but it was still good. The chicken and waffles was pretty good. And they were also really nice there, and yeah, so those were the two places. Oh, and the name of the place was Crema in Pacific Grove, so it was also a good place to go. And yeah, that was kind of all of the major things that we did in Monterey in that general area. So it was a nice easy getaway. It's only about 2 hours south from here without traffic. So it's not too far away, but it's still a good vacation-ish spot. And maybe next time we'll go to the aquarium when they have, I think we went like a year or two ago, so I don't know, I think it was that long ago, but I think they don't have too much new things right now, so for us it's not as exciting to go again, but we might go again in the next time we go down there. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice little kind of beach town with some cute shops and just I don't know, nice bay to hang out in, then Monterey is a nice place to go, and it's not too far away. It's a short drive, so I like it. I'm sure people watching already know where Monterey is and how nice it is, but yeah, so that was Local Delights, and I think that's all I have. Oh, actually, well, I can kind of relate it to Wibbly Wobbly, but not really. I don't know if I mentioned that before, that we got Comic-Con tickets for this year. So Comic-Con is in San Diego. It's a huge convention, which I kind of, it's like Stitches West, but for comics and TV shows. So we're going in July, and I believe, as far as I know, Doctor Who will have a panel this year. I guess they haven't announced anything yet that I know of. I'll have to look into that. But last year they weren't there, so this year they should be there. They have to make up for for not being there last year. So that's kind of related to Wibbly Wobbly, Timey-wimey. But yeah, and I don't think I'll be making any costumes this year, because it was a lot last year to make some costumes. I might reuse my Fluttershy costume, maybe. But other than that, I have so many Doctor Who t-shirts that I need to wear that I can just use those instead. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got to talk a little bit more about knitting this time, so that's good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I will hopefully be back to a regular recording schedule now that things are not as crazy, and so I will probably see you guys in 2 weeks. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye!